In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to become a Monkey King. And so what are you waiting for? Let's get this monkey started. First of all, we want to learn about movement skills because this guy is a beast with movement skill. So here's the thing. So when you guys are running, you guys can see how the staminas are draining, right? But then he has some kind of crazy ability. Once he starts running, he gets his stamina back and he's still running because of the skill. And so that's why this character is just broken, because he can literally just gain stamina back while he's using other movement skills. And so we're gonna start with shift spacebar, and he's going to run like this in a human mode. And then if you press shift spacebar again, then he has the second one for a backup like that. And try this spammable skill, which is down RMB. You guys can literally spam this all day. It's amazing skill for PvE grinding. For example, if I get the spirit buff and I grind it like in Bloody or Red Orcs, those are the juice fun plays. You know, you guys can literally spam that. In Bloody, just one shots, and then Orcs might take like 2 shots or 3 or so. But the fact that you can spam this all day, it doesn't even drain stamina. And then if you guys have like infinite mana potion, that's where it's at. And yeah, it's just spammable. It doesn't drain stamina, so that's why this down RMB can be also powerful. And then if you guys want to be something advanced with this, then try this one. So we're gonna do down RMB, and then after that we're gonna add shift and then movement for A or D. So we're gonna press shift and D right now, and this is what it looks like. So you guys kind of like slide to the right and then do this, right? Now let's press A and then shift and see what happens while we're doing SRMB. Now it goes left. So this is some, you know, really cool mechanics that you guys want to do. If you guys want to go right, then, you know, press shift AD, right? Let's see if I can help you guys with this. Display currents. Now you guys can see. Alright, so shift SD RMB. If you guys press that, you guys can do this. So easy way to start this would be just SRMB. Just practice that, and then once you get hang of it, just add shift and then F or D, my bad. Right, and then do that, and then it's gonna be S and A shift, and then muscle memory that to your head, because you're gonna use this a lot as a suggestion berserker. I'm spamming buttons. I'm spamming buttons. Spam, 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 spam. I'm spamming buttons. I'm spamming buttons. Spam, 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 spam. I'm spamming buttons. I'm spamming buttons. Spam, 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 spam. Gotta smash that. I'm spamming buttons. I'm spamming buttons. Spam, 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 spam. Gotta smash that. Bam. 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 Buttons. Bam. Bam. Next, we have also WF. So if you guys press twice of this like this, it has a forward guard, and it's also spammable. So maybe you can spam this on PvE, but PvP you do want to just use it on a cooldown, right? Because you do not want to spam this, because on the second one now you have nothing, and so you can basically fall down the floor. So just watch that on PvP. Now this is the beast form. So what's really cool about Succession Berserker is that you can become a Monkey King that people talk about, which is the beast form. And so for example, we can put this in a hotkey, and then we can become a beast form, or we can use another one, which is SF. And then in order to use it, it's right here. It's a predatory hunt. And so if you press SF, our human form, you can actually turn into beast mode. So let's try it and then see what happens. And we're gonna hold SF and see what happens. So he bounces 1, 2, 3, and then on third one he roars and then gives lots of AoE damage. However, now try this combo where we do running, which is shift spacebar, and then we're gonna do SF after that and then see what happens. So instead of jumping 3 times, now it basically just jump once and then the AoE. So if you guys want to engage like that, that can be another example in that scenario. And it doesn't have to be the first one, it can be the second one. So shift spacebar, and then let's do the second one. And then we can do SF. Literally same thing, right? And then what like Choice like to do, for example, on his Succession Berserker, is that when he does like running and then SF, you can open your mouse and then make him move around like this. And so in order to do this, is going to go to settings, interface, right here, mouse interface, and then use mouse to move, and then make sure this one is activated. So that way, when you guys press control, now you guys can like move the people around like this. So if you guys are like life skilling, mouse clicking is like where it's at. It's super chill when you guys do this. But also it works for PvP, right? And so now when you guys are running SF, and then if you guys want to go back like this, then you guys can press Control and then LMB. So it's a lot of clicking and a lot of pressing, but it's definitely worth it for PvP scenarios. And then we have another movement skill, which is Shake Off. In order to do so, A or D, and then just pressing RMB. And this is spammable all day as well. And so remember how we can get our stamina back by just, you know, pressing Shift Spacebar, and then we basically get it back. And so now you guys can spam that, or you guys can spam the, you know, down RMB, stuff like that. And then we have this one, which you guys have to do Magnus quest, but in order to use it, we just have to press Q, and then it basically just goes back behind the enemy like this. And so if the enemy was in front of us, we just press Q, and then it just goes backwards like that. He has a, you know, forward guard, and so yeah, it's really nice for movement skill as well. And then we have this skill, which is Weakling Hunt, and in order to use it, it's Shift F, but then on human form, if you guys use it, it just looks like that, and it looks kind of lame, right? But if you go beast form, and so if you guys want to put in a hotkey for that, remember you guys can put a hotkey for this beast form, or you guys can just press SF, and then it just becomes a beast form like this. And then now let's try SF and see what happens. Oh, okay, so that can be like a movement skill that you guys can add as well. He has a frontal guard, and then he like dashes in twice like that. And then the best part about that skill is that you guys can get through the enemy like this, right? So you guys can never get stuck on the enemies. And so this is very, very nice for PvE grinding as well. And so what do we learn so far? So what you guys want to do now is actually press K and then click skill cooldown slots. And then make sure you guys put all the hotkeys for everything basically. So that way you guys can learn. And so what you guys want to do is put all the hotkeys that we learned. And so for example, we learned about Lava Piercer. So we're going to put that on a hotkey like this right here. And then we're going to put Lava Piercer right here as well. And stuff like that. And then I'm going to reorganize mine. And then, yeah, just go from there. Okay, so this is what it looks like for my movement skill. So I added all my movement skill that we learned so far on the right side. So that way I know exactly what we know. So for example, let's do Shift Spacebar. And so that's on cooldown. Now we can press Shift Spacebar again when it's over. And then after that, we can press SF. Right? And then after that, remember the Shift F. We can also use that as a movement skill. And then don't forget the WF. And then look, the cooldown is back up again. Then we can run. Then run again. SF is up again. So what we're going to do is SF. And then we have SF or Shift F, right? And then we have like WF and vice versa. And then if you guys don't know what to do, then we have the down RMB, right? So make sure you guys can use this as well, and then add it on your movement skill when you guys are like running away. And so yeah, this is the movement skill for Succession Berserker. And then the best part for these skills, like they do not consume any stamina. And so that's the crazy part, right? This one, it does consume stamina, but then while you guys are using the other ability, look, it's back to 100%. So that's why he can literally run all day, like in anywhere in like BDO map. And so study this, and then you guys will be golden, like on, you know, movement skill, for example, and just going from there. Just make sure you guys have to practice what is going to be up and then what is going to be safe. For example, like WF only has forward guard, so behind, watch out for the people who's behind you. Same thing with Shift F, that's forearm to guard. But then when you guys are like running around, he has super armor, so you can't really get grabbed because you're running way too fast unless they're just freaking god, right? But then yeah, that's the safe way to not get caught by the enemy or just running away. And yeah, not getting CC, for example. And then SF is also super armor. This one's kind of pretty predictable, right? Like people can kind of catch you while you're doing that, and so watch out for that one as well. So the best part about Succession Berserker, he has lots of grabs. So for example, we have this one, which is the first one, which is Smackdown. And so in order to use this, we just have to press E, and then after that, there's actually like more skills addition to it. But let's just press E and see what happens. So this is what it looks like when we press E, and then it looks something like that. And then if you guys grab and then press spacebar, this is what it looks like. It looks pretty dope. John Cena, right? And so you guys can do something like that. It's really fun. And then when you guys are pressing E with the grab and then doing the spacebar, make sure you guys extend your time. So what I mean is that instead of pressing E and then spacebar right away, right, I just smash it once on the ground like that, for example. But then what you guys want to do is actually smashing twice, and so that way it has like a longer time. So instead of being 2-second CC, now it can be like a 3-second CC. So this is very, very good practice for like solar rays. So that way, you know, if people on your teammates can give some kind of damage while you're doing this, That's very, very nice. So what we're going to do is E, and then make sure he smashes on the floor 2 times, and then we're going to press spacebar, and it will look something like this. And then hold spacebar, right? And so that's what you guys want to do, so that way you guys can have a long period of time to give CC on the enemy like that. Next, we have this skill, which is Rock Smash, and in order to use it, I do recommend just putting it on a hotkey. So for example, if you press number 3, now we can literally carry them around, right? And then put them on the floor, for example, and then we can press E, and then we can put spacebar, and then put them both at the ground like this. And so that's another strategy that you guys can do, something like that. It's very, very fun. Like Succession Berserker is just bomb for PvP. And then remember the Rock Smash, which is either Shift E or again literally in a hotkey like number 3. And then we have this one, which is Corpsive Storm. It basically gives us an extra skill that we can add, so it will look something like this. So after pressing a hotkey for number 3, and then I'm gonna just hold RMB and see what happens. So now what you guys want to do is basically use the Rock Smash, and then after that we're gonna press RMB and then press spacebar, and it will look something like this. And then hold RMB and then spacebar, and then boom, voila, Amazon delivery to your friends, and then they will give lots of damage while you're basically giving them perm CC all day. John Cena. And then we have Beastly Wind Slash right here, which is down RMB. It's also spammable. That's why it's very, very nice. But if you guys use it, you guys can actually get movement speed plus 20. And then he also has a debuff on the enemy, which is all DP minus 20. And then movement speed of minus 30 as well. Next, we have this skill called Fierce Strike. And in order to use it, we just press RMB. And then they will basically get debuff on human form. And then best thing about this skill is that you guys actually want to go on a beast form. And then look at this. If you guys press RMB, it's also spammable. And guess what? You're giving a back Asian massage. And this is very, very nice skill. It gives a lot of damage too. And so when you guys use this, like in a hex grinding, for example, in the late game zone, where is it? Around here. I use RMB a lot here once I get the buff, for example, and then that literally just shreds everybody. And then this is what you guys want to do. You guys also want to spam it. And then if you guys ever get stuck, then Shift F, right? Make sure you guys get through around. Make sure you guys are outside of the mob, not from the middle, right? And then after that, just RMB again and give lots of damage, stuff like that. And so now what you guys want to do for skill add-on is come to this guy, go to skill add-ons, and then make sure you guys click the Fierce Strike. And then now you guys can put like a debuff of all DP and all evasion rate, and it will look something like this. And then now if you guys use it to the enemy, boom. And now it has all the debuff on them. They're basically naked, ready to be shredded, and then ready to spin. And give lots of damage in that scenario. Next, we have Frenzied Destroyer. In order to use it, we just do down LMB. This is a nice skill. It's also spammable. And then he also actually has AP on plus 16. So it's very nice to use for self buff as well. So before you guys engage to the enemy too, you guys can always click like that, right? And get yourself a 10 seconds buff for all AP plus 16 and go from there. And so when we do down LMB, it will look something like this. But then now try to add shift, and then we'll use this skill, which is Frenzied Destroyer, and then it will look something like this. So that's normal attack. You can spam it, and then just add shift and see what happens. So that's what it looks like, and it's not spammable for that one. You can use it every 5 seconds in that scenario. And then we talked about Predatory Hunt, and so yeah, once again, SF, hold down SF, then you guys can bounce 3 times and then roar if you guys keep holding it. But if you guys just want like one bounce, then yeah, just press SF once and then that's it. So it will look something like this. Right, and then after that, you guys can like run and do something like that from there. Let's say that you do want to stop at like maybe on second jump. So for example, maybe this guy. So if you jump 1, 2, and then we can actually press LMB, and then if we actually land with our elbow, then we can actually give them a CC. So you guys can do something like that as well. When you guys want to stop, you guys will literally just, you know, smash down on the floor whenever you guys want to. Like that. What people usually recommend is just running, which is shift spacebar and then do SF. It's much quicker casting, and so that's why I really recommend you guys doing that instead of just pressing SF right away. and then, you know, just have like a really slow bounce in the very beginning. And this is one of the Succession Berserker favorite skill, which is Raging Thunder. And in order to use it, it's W+RMB. And he literally spends all day. You can move around while you're doing this too, and it has super armor, so it's very, very nice. So as long as enemy doesn't have a grab, you can literally just spin that all day. And so, you know, usually the best combo would be like giving a grab, right, in the combo, and then adding this can be also like a strategy in that scenario. We actually have another spin, which is going to be from skill enhancements. So this is very nice for PvE grinding, so you guys can definitely give it a try. But Fear Rage, in order to use it, is going to be Shift X. You can literally spin all day until your stamina drains out to 0. So look at this. I'm literally running around, giving lots of damage, then still spinning until it becomes 0. And then after that, LMB, right? Stuff like that. And you guys can give so much damage, like in like PvE grinding. It's super fun class, 100% busted. And then we have some Fearsome Tyrant, and so if you actually have 100%, this is a very good way to give like CCs on the enemy. So if, for example, if I was like in the middle in this area, and then if you press Shift Q, I become a monkey, and then give lots of stuns around people, and they get stunned for a long period of time. So this is very, very nice when you guys are doing like a solar array, and then you want to just ulti on them, and then give them CC, and then if they land the CC, then you guys know exactly what to do, which is just giving lots of damage. And then when we do normal casting for the Fearsome, it will look something like this. They give them a stun. So now you guys can get close and then, like, you know, get a grab or something like that, and then just go from there. Next, we have this skill, which is Beast Roar. In order to use it, it's Q, but then it actually doesn't work, so we have to put in a hotkey, because if you guys look at the Time to Rock, which is coming from the Magnet quest, he actually uses this. And so when we press Q, it goes backwards, which is literally this skill. And so what you guys want to do is put it in a hotkey for this one in this scenario. And so when we press number 2 now, it's going to use this ability. Beast Roar also has 350 HP every 1 second, and so it's very nice skill to just get some HP back. And not even that, if you guys want more HP gains, you guys can also use this. And so if you guys put this on number 1, and then if you guys were also 30%, run around, go all the way back in the safe spot, and then press number 1. Then boom, you guys will gain a lot of HP using that ability as well. Just remember, these both are 45 seconds to reuse. And so yeah, once you use it, just make sure you guys are still alive for 45 seconds. And then after that, run away, and then you guys can use it again in a safe spot, and then get yourself some HP. And then don't forget to press LMB after using this ability, so that way you guys can actually get some extra HP. And so it will look something like this. And then just hold LMB, and then he will smash again on the floor like that, and then you guys will gain some extra HP. And then they have this skill right here, which is Quaking Fury. In order to use it, you guys can actually use a flow skill for any other abilities. So for example, remember this skill right here, when we use the Shift down LMB. So when we do the down LMB, it looks like this. But then if you add Shift, then he uses with 2 hands and then smashing it like that. And then after that, what you guys want to do is press LMB, and then he will use the 3rd attack, and then it will look something like this. Boom, just like that at the end. And then yeah, just give some damage and stuff like that. You can also press Q and then press LMB after that to use that ability. And we haven't talked about this yet, but if you do WC and then press LMB as well, you guys can use that ability as well. And then we have Magnet skill that we talked about previously, which is basically just pressing Q. It just jumps back, so disengaging is a really good way. So after, like, let's say that we did our combo, which is grab and then spin to win, and then once it's over, now you guys can basically press Q to like run away, for example. So maybe that's what you guys want to add at the end. Next, we have the E-buff, which is the beast form. So in order to use it, put in a hotkey, and then after that, if you guys press number 5, and then you guys basically get all these buff right here. You guys can also recover 1,500 HP, all DP plus 20, all resistance all resistance plus 50, and then movement speed plus 20, and then critical hit rate 30%. And then we have Ancient Wave right here, which is down C in order to use it. And so it will look something like that. It has a knockdown, so that's the best part on PvP. So let's say that we landed a grab. What you guys want to do for second CC is the down C, for example, and then going from there. And then don't forget, the Ancient Wave actually looks different when you guys are in monkey form. So this is what it looks like as a monkey form. And then we have this ability right here, and then in order to use it, which is going to be WC. That's what it looks like as a beast form. And then this is what it looks like on a human form. basically similar for that one. And then we have this ability right here, which is Unstoppable Beast. So that's another way to become a beast mode. And so instead of pressing like some kind of ability like SF, that can turn into a beast mode, or you guys can literally just press C or lock it and then put it in a hotkey like number 4 for me. Then you guys can basically become the beast form. And so it will look something like this when I press number 4. And then boom, now you guys get yourself a beast form and go from there. Just also be aware when you guys turn into beast form, if you guys can get actually a buff. So like this, SF, and then you guys can get like critical hit rate for 30 seconds, you know, the recovery, 2% HP per 2 seconds, stuff like that. And so that's why becoming on a beast mode is super important as a Succession Berserker, because you guys can get all that free buff like that as long you guys are changing into beast form like this. And now let's talk about some ways that we can turn into beast form. And so the first of all that we know is SF. So when you guys are running in human form, you can press SF and then literally turn into beast form. Just keep in mind, you guys see the numbers right here. If this becomes 0, that means you're gonna go back to human form. And so just watch out if you do want to stay in beast form. And so we need to renew this cooltime, and so let's just wait until it becomes 0. But then what are some other options that what we can do is these several things. So first of all, we can do the Wrath of Beast, which is putting on a hotkey and then pressing number 1. That works right there as well. Next, we have Beast Roar. In order to use that, I just put it on a hotkey as well, and then I just press number 2 for that one. And then after that, we have the Unstoppable Beast. And so in order to use this, we can press C and then go from there as well. So let's just wait until it becomes 0 again. So just pressing C, boom. And then we also have the E buff of beast form. And so if you guys also put this in a hotkey, which is tap for me or F1. And so if I press that, then I can basically also get the beast form just like that. And then don't forget this skill that we have Shift Q, which is Fearsome Tyrant. If you press this ability as well, we can turn into beast form. And but just you just stay in the same spot, and so just keep that in mind, and it has a long cooldown. And so what I usually recommend is just Shift Q or Shift Spacebar and then just pressing like SF. That's usually where it's at, or just pressing C or, you know, hotkeying E buff as well. That can be an option as well. Next, we do have an evasion skill. So it's kind of different with this one. This guy actually moves side steps like this. This is a very good skill for like PvE grinding, but then PvP is kind of rough because it does not have any protection. And so, but some people still use it though, and so if you guys want to use it, go for it. But yeah, and PvE, you'll definitely need it the most because it has an iframe, even though it doesn't say in your screen, but for PvE, it does. And then remember the Shift F, if you guys just use it on a human form, it has a knockback, but then it's having a protection. But if you turn into beast form and then now use it, somehow you just have a frontal guard now, right? And then it also has like good movement skill, right? You guys can go through the enemy too, so that's why it's so powerful. So PvE grinding is very good. And PvP, just make sure you guys just use it once and then use other abilities so you guys don't get CC like that. And then we have Tackling Rock, which is WF. You guys can literally cast twice and then still have frontal guard. Or you guys can also become a beast mode and then press WF and then it will look something like that. Then we have Storming Beast. In order to use it, just pressing F, and then it has a stiffness. And you guys can literally spam it too if you guys want. And if you guys want to be rude on PvP, I guess, yeah, that's the stuff that maybe you guys can do like that. I don't know. But yeah, just keep in mind, it does say it has a forward guard, but when I use it, it does not have any forward guard. And then when you are on a beast form, you guys still don't get the frontal guard when you press F. So what I would honestly use on that scenario though would be debuffing the evasion class. So if you guys hover it, actually it has melee evasion minus 12%. And so, and then all the other, you know, debuffs as well. But the most important one here, I think, would be the melee evasion rate. And so very good for like debuffing like high evasion players. So if this was like Awakening Striker or Succession Ninja, and if I happen to grab them, now I can like press F, for example, right? And then give them a debuff and just go from there. Next, we have another good knockdown skill, which is Headbutt. So in order to actually knock them down, we actually have to press Shift+RMB, and then you can actually knock them down like this. And then the best part about this skill is that it gives you guys a melee accuracy rate of 15%. And so if you guys are fighting against like high evasion players too, and then if you guys land a grab, for example, like this, Now the second CC would be like, you know, Shift F and then give them a CC like that in that scenario with getting an accuracy rate of 15%. But there is definitely two options that you guys now have for the second CC, which one would be like the headbutt, or you guys can also use the Asian view and then has a knockdown like that as well. And then we have a movement skill that we have right here, which is shake off. And in order to use it, we press A or D and then pressing RMB. And keep in mind, this is also spammable too. It just drains down your stamina very well. But that's another one way to, like, you know, run around if you guys want. But just keep in mind, only the first one has an iframe. After that, it does not have any protection, so use it on your own risk. Amazing thing about like Succession Berserker is that increased grip. It has a passive, and so grapple succession rate plus 30%. Now let's talk about skill enhancements. So if you look at skill enhance right here, so this is what it looks like for Federal Stampede. This one's very nice for like a movement skill that you guys can add as well, but just keep in mind it doesn't have any protection, so maybe PvE might be where it's at if you guys want to use it, but PvP, use it on your own risk. And then this one is 100% like PvE grinding. If you guys use this on PvP, thing is you do have super armor, but if somebody has a grab on you, like they can easily just grab you from that, and so it's very, very risky on PvP. Okay, and then acts of destruction, we have Shift Z right here. And then he actually has a knockdown on hits, so it can be very good if you want an extra knockdown. But personally, I don't think you need more knockdowns because literally you just gotta use headbutt and then that's it. Like come over here, Shift RMB. Come over here, Shift RMB. It doesn't have any cooldown, and so you know you have unlimited amount of headbutts, and so I don't really think having the second knockdown is necessary. You do get all AP. Plus 16 for that, but at the same time you can also get the buff by, you know, down LMB, and so it's not really necessary, and so yeah, definitely not really worth using. But then you guys can maybe use like Walling Beast, and this is huge because he actually gives you guys the HP buff. Oh, and so what HP buff I meant to say is like recovery. So you guys remember when you guys use the Wrath of Beast or like Beast of Roar, you guys can actually gain HP. And not even that, you guys can also use in this Shift Z can also give you guys HP. And so yeah, this guy is just amazing, just heals all day just like that. And then lastly, we have two options, which is Frenzied Winds or then Frenzied Tyrant. And so for this one, it's really nice because there's like 3 ways to use this ability. And so, for example, the first one will be like Federal Stampede or Wailing Beast or Acts of Destruction. So if you guys actually look at it, Stampede was this one. So let's say that we use this one, for example, here. And then next one would be like Acts of Destruction or Wailing Beast right here. So let's just say that we use Federal Stampede and then Wailing Beast, and then we just press LMB and then see what happens. And then uses something like that. However, it doesn't have any protection, so maybe PvE is where it's at for this one. And it also does give you guys 20% movement speed, but I don't think that's really necessary in this scenario. But yeah, so that's that. And then let's look at the Frenzy Tyrant. This one you do have to put in a hotkey, and then number 3, for example. And then it will look something like that. And yeah, just lots of damage. Once again, doesn't have any protection, so definitely only use it on PvE of grinding for this scenario. So let's talk about some ways that we can give CCs to the enemy. The very easy one, which is Shift Spacebar. You guys can literally run into them, and then you guys can't go through the enemy. So what does that mean? Get close and then just press E, right? It's that simple. And if you guys land the grab, Shift RMB, get a second knockdown, and then just go from there. And then let's say that your E was missed, and so I accidentally pressed E somewhere here, and then you can still run at them, and then now we can use Rock Smash. So you guys can press Shift E, or you guys can put in a hotkey, for example, and then just go from there, right? And then after that, Shift RMB, and then yeah, there's your second CC right there. Another one you guys can do is maybe running and then SF, and then when it explodes and then slams on the ground, it does have a CC like that. So yeah, you guys can definitely give that a try if you guys want. And then we also have this, which is the Fierce Strike, and we also definitely need to be on the beast mode. So for example, if you press it on human form, it's at the very end that has the floating, so it's not really good. So let's just change it into beast mode, and then we run, evasion, and then pressing RMB like that. So that's how you guys can get people down as well if your grab is like on cooldown and stuff like that. But I personally think, you know, just grab is just where it's at for, you know, Berserker. It's just really OP. And then don't forget the jumping, right? Jumping, and then if you want to land here, LMB, right? That can be another option like that. Shift Q is also a really good one to give like a stun, right? And then you guys can run and then give like a grab and then just give it to your teammates like that. Number 1 also has a stiffness, just like that, and has a knockdown, and you guys can definitely give that a try. And then don't forget that we have Ancient Wave as well. It has a forward guard and knockdown. So what we're gonna do is like running around, and then we're gonna do the evasion, which is the shake it off, and then after that we're gonna do the Ancient Wave, and it will look something like this. And then boom, if they do fall down, you guys know exactly what to do. Headbutt and then give a second CC. Ancient Wave is also really good for, you know, range skills. So let's say that we were on a beast form and then we were like running and then evasion and then boom, right? So if they get knocked down like that, then you guys know exactly what to do, right? Coming close, headbutt, and then the combos that I'm about to show you guys right now. And so this is the scenario where you guys run and then actually land the grab. This is the combo that I'm about to show you guys right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, this combo took me like 5 tries. It was definitely difficult to practice, but then once you guys get this muscle memory, bro, that combo is really, really nice. And so we start with shift space and then get a first grab. If you do so, linger around with the space bar so that way your teammates come if you guys play together. Second CC with Shift+RMB with get that accuracy buff, RMB, SLMB, F, WC, and then end with LMB RMB if they don't have any grabbers. But yeah, as a Succession Berserker, you do guys have a lot of grabs, and so, you know, you do want to start off with your grab. If not, you guys have another option, which is using the Ancient Wave. So when we're like running, then we stop right here, and then evasion with a, you know, SC. That's your first knockdown. Get close, and then, you know, give like a second knockdown with the headbutt, and then doing the same combo that I taught you guys previously, right? Or anything like that, or even the scratching, which is RMB, that has a floating, right? And then now we can do like a headbutt, stuff like that. So that's why I gave you guys that CC idea. So go back and watch it, and then just listen to some ideas that I gave you guys, right? That can be another first CC, and then that will be the second CC, for example, and then doing the combos of the second CC that I taught you guys previously. But yeah, Berserker Succession definitely has a lot of healing. For example, E-buff gives you guys 1,500 already right there. The 2 quick casts on the hotkeys, for example, Wrath of Beast also has a recovery rate of HP. Same thing, Beast Roar is going to give you guys recovery HP as well. And so yeah, just keep in mind you guys can definitely use those 2 ability as well. And then if you guys go to skill enhancements, and then if you guys use Wailing Beast as well, this one also gives you guys recover of 350 HP. And so yeah, there's just a lot of income of you getting lots of HP back as a, you know, Succession Berserker. He's definitely a really good tank support class. The reason why he can be also support, because in AoE you guys can literally get a grab and then give it to your teammates, for example. And then now you have another grab, which is, you know, shifty, and then you can literally hold like this all day you guys want, and then press RMB and then like spacebar, right? It's just broken class for like support, and he also has damage, so it's a win-win. Definitely highly recommended for anybody starting BDO. And that is going to be it with this part 1 video. Hopefully you guys learned something, and if you guys do so, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can make more videos like this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next time. Ukiki!